Okay, so this is the second story of The Quiet Sleep. It's called Songcraft. It's about making music. So let's get into it. Things weren't where you wanted them to be. It's time to start fresh. Go show everyone that you can be a success. Good luck. So let's our unlocks are hating your job, the music, and the lover. So let's take a look at those. This is the lover. It's disabled because the lover is not talking to you until you follow through and quit. Can't do anything with this. Similarly, the music, it's just important, but it's also disabled because you're too tired to do anything with this. So, given that both of these are going nowhere, let's take a look at hating your job. Is this all that you were meant for? Possibly. So we've got this tower that makes will, just like in the Quiet Sleep before it. And we've got a goal to quit our worthless job, which requires will. Now, just as a bit of background information, this one is much more open-ended than The Quiet Sleep and is also significantly harder. So there's a fair chance that we'll end up failing, but let's get right into it. Let's just build this, start getting that will, because will is useful, and then put down this job. We're leaving this space for our defenses, I think. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll end up being somewhere else. So just set it up pretty quickly, and there we go. So now that we've quit our worthless job, we have this new goal to take strength in quitting our job. And we have this new trait, ambition. Now you can see the trait that used to be hating our job has transformed into this new trait titled ambition, which has a bunch of new options like callousness, working on ourselves, deriving strength, and daydreaming. So what we're going to, and also these two new traits are no longer disabled. So that we have the music where we can build music, listen to music together, start a new song, or refine raw inspiration. And we have the lover where we can spend time with the lover, express a need for the lover, gain resolve, and speak of this new start to the lover. Now what I want to point out here is that we actually can't do a lot of things that the game offers, right? In that over here we can't, for instance, refine raw inspiration because we have no way of getting raw inspiration or thought at this point. Similarly over here we have no way of getting frustration and we have no way of getting relaxation, right? So we're just going to work at this goal first. So we'll just build out this, connect it up. I think something like this, where we have a nice clean defensible point as we go to both of these. And we'll build out the goal as well. Just get that set up as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, we have the strength in quitting job, where quitting your job to pursue music is impressive, but will you let yourself accept that? Which requires 2 will. Sadly, we're using all of our will right now, and we've got some time left on it, so we'll just leave this there. So there we go, our will is getting fed, and we're starting to produce social already. So now we'll run that, and let's build this out a little bit in the meantime. We'll build a music thing, and I think we'll also just start out with our new song immediately. Let's try to get that set up. I mean, the point of this game is just to make music, right? It's to produce as much music as you can. So to do that, we need to start songs. So let's just get that running. Okay. Now that we have some will, I'm going to use it to complete this goal. And this requires both will and music. So let's just hook it up as like such. Now that we've spoken of our new start, you can see the trait for the lover has expanded substantially and in different ways. So this is the base right here of the lover, but over here is the friendship aspect of it, where we can build new things like sharing joy to damage joy and venting to damage anger and sadness. We can also hang out and be cared for. Over here we have the ability to share experiences, to say the right thing, to derive strength, and to be cared for, much in the same way as that, only this requires different currencies. Also, we can fish for compliments, and we can try to impress the lover, right? Right now we have no will, so we're going to do nothing, but soon enough we'll develop this out. So now that we've taken strength in quitting our job, we have a strength deposit, and we've also unlocked this new trait over here, which are inner demons. Now we can quiet them, or we can accept the truth of them, and additionally we have this goal on here to prove success, and we'll show them all. It requires a ton of success, and right now we have no success, so we'll have to shelve that for now. Since we have all of this strength, we can use it to build a tower to help us deal with emotions. So we'll start that up, and now that we have some will, we'll build out this share experiences thing so that we can build up even more defenses. So you can see we've completely exhausted that deposit in order to build this tower. We're still trucking along in our new song, and now that that's done, we have a nascent song which we can flesh out with anger, joy, sadness, the lover, or the muse, right? And then we can see if it's good enough. So given that we have very little of this right now, we could technically do this, but to get the need for the lover, we need to build this over here, which will also take self-esteem, which we don't have right now. So we're just going to let that slide a little bit, and I think we're just going to spend a little time developing these two places before we do anything else. So let's just build another will mine over here. So now that we're able to share experiences, you can see that we can build a share joy tower. So we'll just put that down like right here. That seems pretty solid, and hook it up like so. Meanwhile, we have more will, and we'll use that to build another one of these, just because they're useful. Okay, so now that we've developed both of these, let's listen to music together, because that's going to unlock a bunch of very useful things. And let's fish for compliments, which is also going to prove very useful. Oh, as you can see, this will make the self-esteem that we needed for this. However, I think when push comes to shove, we're not going to need to do that. Ooh, we have this new goal to capture an inspiration, which requires thought. But we have no way of producing thought, so I guess not. So here we are, just getting things done. So we need another social for this one, but our social is all tied up, so that's that. Meanwhile, we're not using our will for anything, so we'll just try deriving some strength, and we'll also start building out stuff. So over here we'll put down this one, I think, first. The ability to gain resolve. And we'll let that run. Meanwhile, you can see that our inspiration is fading, but nothing we can do about that. It's just a way of inspiration. Oh, also, since we've completed this, we can now fish for compliments, which is going to prove useful. Now we've tried listening to the music together with the lover, but we didn't find anything new. It happens. May not have found anything new, but you can't complain about spending time with the lover like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to rebuild that goal because I need it to succeed. We have the chance for a minor flirtation. Are you going to let this chance slip by? All it takes is social, which we have. So it's a fair question as to whether we want to do this right now. So what this will do is it'll give us some joy, which we can then use over here to flesh out the song, so we can get that rolling a little bit quicker. But what you'll find is that we're pretty constrained by will, and that this will produce joy anyway. So we don't have any major need to do that, and we sort of want to keep a lid on how much emotion we feel right now. So I think I'm going to skip that goal. See, here's the joy already, right? So now when I get some will, I'll use it to build out this so that we can complete that. Oh, wrong one. So by completing the construction of this goal, we freed up this will tower. So we're going to use that to build this. It requires this. And we'll just connect it like so. And we'll also connect this here, so as to provide a faster path. Meanwhile, this is almost done. Oh, never mind, this is pretty far from being done. Oof. So we have a new goal to suppress our obnoxious happiness that requires pain. But we have no pain right now. Ah, but we have finished fishing for compliments. Now again, I would rebuild that, but but I'm so strapped for will right now that I will do no such thing. Instead, I'll just start fleshing out the song. Meanwhile, oh, so we completed listening to music together, and this time we succeeded. So that's changed the trait from the music to new music, and you won't listen to this forever, but for now it's everything. And what this does is this lets us build thought, which is highly, highly useful. It's necessary for a lot of things. It also lets us solve the fresh music, can indulge our curiosity, we can give in to envy, or we can discard the fresh music. Right now, given our lack of will, we're going to do nothing, but when we have a moment, we'll build it out. Meanwhile, this is happening. So we've completed deriving strength, and we have 3 where we need 5 for a second callousness tower, which I want, and we also need some for working on ourselves, which is another thing I want to do. However, we need the will more right now. So what I can do with this will is a bunch of things. One thing I can do is I can develop this happiness trait by putting a recharge here, which will get us more will. The problem is that takes cheer, and it looks like I'm going to use the cheer to try to build out the song first, and then maybe to try to hang out with the lover, which is going to unlock a bunch of other things for us. So I don't think there's much point in building this right now. I could build a hangout thing here, so that once this is done, that's ready to go, and that makes sense. Or I could build out the brute force problems, because I'll need to do that at some point before I get tired of this music. I think I have a lot of time before that happens, so I'm just going to build this out. Oh, another thing I could do is I could try to get some pain to suppress this obnoxious happiness with, and I could do that over here by accepting the truth, and I could do that fairly quickly, but I think I might just have to bite the bullet on failing that goal. Meanwhile, all this took was cheer, because I'm fleshing out this song with joy, so let's run that. And again, the will is open, so I'm just going to brute force this. The other 2 things I could have done with the will is derive strength, so that I have as I said before, so that I have a bigger buildup of strength, which I can use to build this tower. Or I could have built out another fish for compliments to try to build up my self-esteem, because as you'll see, self-esteem is very valuable in this story. I think I will build out a second one of these. It's a lot less useful than the first one, but I think I'll want it at some point. Meanwhile, once again I have will, so this time I'm going to start this up, because I'm building the fish for compliments instead of the derived strength, because the fish for compliments uses social and music, which are both lying fallow, while derived strength uses will, which right now is at a premium. Okay, and we've got another one free, so I'll use that to derive more strength. And here's fishing for compliments. So that's well and good. Meanwhile, actually, let's just quickly recharge this. It's not particularly depleted, but there's no reason not to. Ah, good. And now you can see we're at the point where we actually have a slight surplus of will. There's not that much to do with it. I'll let this happen first, and then I'll make a decision. Oh, see? Now that we're fishing for compliments again, we're getting more joy. So it's just as well we're recharging that. So our attempt to flesh out the song succeeded, which means we now have a poor song. So we can face the failings of the song, we can build an easy work tower, but that doesn't give us anything we want. We can sink into the work, which will take thought and use that to damage things, but thought is at a premium right now. It's at a much higher premium than a damage tower. And also, this is located down here, where it's not going to be that effective at dealing with emotions. So we're not going to do either of those. We can face the failings of the song, we can check the song quality, and we can integrate hard work. Now we have no song satisfaction and no hard work. So all that we can really do with it is face its failings. So let's start that up. Meanwhile, we've successfully fished for compliments, and I do it again, but once again, we need the will. This is slowly recharging. It's keeping pace, essentially, with what's going on. Now this makes sadness due to feeling drained, but I fear it might be too late to complete that goal, so never mind that. Never mind that. Now we can keep the fresh music alive, which just requires music, which is anyway not being used for anything, but at the same time we have no major use for this new music. We will at some point probably want to solve it, but that's a way away. And we could give in to envy, but I don't see the need to do that either. However, I think I will keep it active because I have the bandwidth, and I might want to solve it later. So let's do that. Oh, meanwhile we are fatigued. Oh, and I forgot to do this. So now that we have this cheer, let's hang out. Now that our cheer isn't being used for anything. Good. So we've got 3 more strength to give us what should be a total of 6 right now. So we can use that to build a second callousness tower right here. Except we can't because we lack focus. There we go. So now we're good there. So this is the pain that we could use for this, because we're feeling sad due to how tired we're feeling from looking at our songs failing. But we're never going to get 3 in time, so I guess we'll just have to let that slide. So we've had a burst of obnoxiousness, and sometimes you just get carried away, and it's always the lover who suffers from it, which has resulted in this burst of shame, so that's even more sadness for us. And it's also resulted in disabling the lover. The lover just needs some time alone, which means that this can no longer function because it required the resolve from here. So that's that. I mean, there's not much we can do about that. We just have to wait it out. Meanwhile, our defenses are being built up, and we're going to get some more strength. And I think that's it. I think that's what we do right now. So we completed hanging out, or we completed the hangout goal, which now lets us hang out. So we can build this relax goal and use some cheer in that so as to finish this before it gets out of hand. So we'll not drown in the self-pity right now. Okay, so this needs cheer, but we're using the cheer right now. That's fine, we can just hold on to that for a moment. And we have some will again, so let's look at what else we want to do here. We want to talk about the lover. And for that we need cheer again. So given how much cheer we're using, I don't think we want to do that for a while. Right, we need the cheer here and then there. But we also can use the will to face the failings of the song, so let's finish that off. So this time we have a ton of pain to feed that goal. So that was easy enough. And here we go. Just going to use this cheer to relax, and then use that relaxation to kill this. Yes. Meanwhile, we have the will, we have 4 strength, which is going to be enough for our immediate needs. We have 9 self-esteem, which is also a fair bit. So what do we want to do with this will? I think we'll just develop this a little bit. Just build this in case we need it. And maybe build out the romance or something. Any towers here we want? Yeah, we do. So now that we've completed this... Oh, and we've also completed looking at the song's failings. Well, it takes its thought to understand the song failings, though. It's not enough to accept failures, you need to understand them as well. Okay, so that's easy enough. We just need thought on for that one. It's a bit of an extensive process, but there you go. Meanwhile, I forgot to do this. Let's kill that. Also, this deposit is timed. We can only hold relaxation for so long. Interestingly, you can see here that our happy memory is fading. So let's take the moment to fish for some more compliments. Make sure we always have a happy memory active. Oof, now we're... Okay, now our defenses are running low, so I think we're going to have to use our small reserve of strength on that. I think I'll let this one slide a little while. I might fix it later, but for now I'll just leave it alone. And we'll... oh, sorry, wrong thing. I meant to click on this. And we'll fish for compliments. Yes, so you can see we're getting some work done on our song, which is useful. We're making sure we have a second source of joy, which is also good. And I do want to develop this, so let's do that as well. Oh, gotta keep things going. It's a little expensive, but what can you do? See? So now we have a new fresh source of joy, which is going to keep us secure there. Yep, and we've finished fishing for compliments. I don't want to rebuild that because I've got a lot going on right now. Cheer and social. Actually, I think we'll reverse that because that might be faster. Yeah, I think we wanted to go like this. Actually, so we'll just do that. Easy enough. Meanwhile, we can stop this demon with the power of love, but we have no love, so we cannot do anything about it. It looks like we'll have to let this one go. That's fine enough. Yeah, and I'll want this will shortly, so I'll just not use it, although actually we'll use it to build out this. We're going to want more strength to keep our defenses up. Thankfully this handles the joy, but we're still seeing a lot of pain. So it is what it is. No differences. You and the lover really are 2 different people. You can't let that get to you. I'll probably use the strength if I can on that. Oh dear. So we need to say the right things here, which requires this thing here, which requires understanding and social, and understanding is over here, but our will is completely tied up. So actually we'll just pause this for a moment and start building this out, because this is a pretty good thing to have, so we'll try for that. So we finished understanding the song's failings, but now we have to make sure we don't give up on the song just because it has its problems. And at the same time, we can't drown in self-pity. Oof, also we've got this anger from being stuck with the problem. Got a lot going on here. No wonder we lost control. Good, so we've completed that, but we are going to want some strength right now. So I think we'll just do that. We might have to bite the bullet on ignoring the differences. We just have a lot going on right now. But I do want to build this, and that way we might just be able to complete this goal in time. And if we can do that, that'll help us out with a lot. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. So we need this, 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 and this. So let's hope for the best. Meanwhile, we can also build out this goal so that we can work on ourselves, because that's what we want the strength for. Yep, so that's ready to go. We will build this. We'll just complete this. It's important to us that we get this going. Now we also want to work on the song itself, but so where shall we start with that? We can identify issues, which will require will, or we can just build out this, which is a small investment for right now, so we'll just run that. Meanwhile, we'll hope for the best here. Okay, good. So now that we've derived strength, we can just do this pretty quickly. Ah, see? My memory has disappeared. And we're running short of time on this. It's possible I should have used the strength just to keep the alienation from happening. But we shall see. Ah, good. So now that we've transformed this to a self-reliance trait, we can start gaining strength. In fact, I think I'll put it right here, where it will be fastest. Because see, we've got no defense again. It's quite worrying. Because this one right here is just going to cause us to lose control. But soon enough, we should be able to... Yep, and that's done. Now we've got some defenses. Built out this alienation thing. We have only 14 seconds left. There's no way we'll complete that in time. Yeah, there's no way we'll complete that in time. We're going to have to try that again. So this memory is fading, so we'll just build out an understand right here. And we'll keep from drowning in self-pity as well. Oof, we are struggling here. Okay, so we'll just do this, and then we'll take some time to think about the failures of the game. Still have 10 self-esteem, so we're doing okay on that. Ah, and we've built this. So I need to build that new goal in a moment. And we're really spending a lot to keep this thing running. Good, good. So we finished that. What we're going to do is set up this goal, because we can do that without too much will expenditure. And will is really what we're bottlenecked on now, because we're using the will to get strength in order to refill our defenses, which are dangerously low. But this doesn't require any will, so we can do that. And over here we can start identifying issues with the song, so that we can fix them and get to a point where we can potentially release the song. Okay, so this time I'm just going to use the strength right here, because I can't afford to lose control of any part of this for a while now. Just have a lot going on. And once again, this is fading, so we want to rebuild this. We want to build another fish for compliments thing sometime soon. Oh dear, and we're also fatigued. Okay, good. But look at this. This is going to cause us to lose control again, so I'm just not going to start anything until we've overcome that. Okay, cool. So right now, I think we go like this, right here. So now we have some will, and we can use it to fish for compliments for another joy. We can use it to relax in order to deal with this, or we can use it to replenish our defenses. All of which are good things. I think this is going to take the longest, so we'll push that off. And I think we'll get the joy, since anyway that's defended by this, and we still have some defense there, so we're not too bad. Meanwhile, I will replenish this because we need it. I'll hope for the best. Ah, good. So we've identified our first issue, the technical issues. Okay, okay. And it's time to identify some more issues, I guess. Or I could use the will for something else. I think I'll use it to build out a relax. I really don't want to be delayed. There. And again, this is something that isn't going to require more will. Oof. Got a lot of things that want cheer right now. And we're just not that cheerful. Oof, and we also want social. We don't have it. Oh well. Meanwhile, we'll start identifying another issue, and we'll start replenishing our defenses, both of which are going to be very necessary. Good, so now that we've unlocked some social, let's start fishing for compliments again. Yuck. A ton of demand for social right now. If we can complete this, that's going to prove very useful. So let's try for that. Ah. Can stop this demon with strength, and we probably should. Okay, good. So we finished fishing for compliments. Capturing inspiration, but I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. Hopefully we can complete that. Also, we're going to stop this train because I need to use the strength to stop this demon. Yeah, see? So we're fine with joy because we've got some defense against joy. I'm not particularly optimistic about being able to get some relaxation in time. So we'll just do that. Oh no, we're out of focus. Is there anything I can do? Cheer up lover, identify issue, things going, stop demons, suppress obnoxious happiness. No, I sort of need all of them. Come on. Come on. No! Ah. That's going to make things a lot harder. Okay. So what we're first going to do is just quiet this. Like so. Okay, what did we get? We got an easy problem. Not bad. I think we'll try once more to identify issues. And then we'll restart work on the song. Meanwhile, we're full up on focus. 32? It's no way. But I'll need the relaxation anyway to overcome fatigue, so that's that. Meanwhile, let's try to complete this before that runs out. Phew, just got there. So you can see that the music is disabled because we're too tired to do anything with it, and we have this tiny little extension to overcome our exhaustion. So let's do that first. Meanwhile, we've also found emotional issues. So we've got the trifecta there, which is actually pretty irritating. It's not clear what to do about that. Also, it looks like we failed this goal, which is going to result in us losing all of our self-esteem. Which is a pain. We did need that, but we can regenerate it quickly enough. Oh, meanwhile, our defenses once more are completely exhausted. Yeah, well, we'll rebuild this because we want it. Yeah. Let's just complete this. And we have. And let's start getting back to a point where we can work. So we can use this. We do want a new source of pain, because we want it for the understanding. So we'll have to see about that. Oh, can't do that because we need this. Oh dear. Oh, we'll get there. Meanwhile, let's rebuild our defenses. And we'll keep this going because we do really want to be able to talk to the lover. Yep, that's good. Yeah, well, we can't do much of anything without the music actually. But let's build this out. Just happened this, huh? Yeah, we'll do this. If I do want another source of pain, but there are better ways than this. Excellent. So now we can just finish this off, keep ourselves safe like that. I think I'm not going to, I think I'll build this out. And I'll give that a little time so as not to get caught up. What are we frustrated about? We're stuck with a problem, and an easy problem at that. Let's restart our work. Oh, I can't do that. But I can fish for compliments now. So we'll do that. I can also do this. Yeah, that's what I expected. Good. So now we've got some self-esteem again. Now we've got some sadness again. So I just quickly need to build this, and then I can build out the restart work thing, and we can get somewhere there. Wish this had shown up earlier. I think we'll let it slide. I think we'll just take the sadness hit on it. So now we need to cheer up the lover, but that requires us to finish this, which we've done. Oh no, this is fading too. Oh dear. So there's that. We will both restart work and fish for compliments again, just because the joy is so valuable. You can see we went from hyper emotional to not that emotional, but we should also recharge this when we have a moment. And I wonder if I can speed this up. It's a little gauche, but it's just put down a highway essentially. Oh, yeah, we're full up on social. Resolve is straightforward enough. This is also something we may as well do now that we have a moment. So once this finishes, we should be good to start this, like so. And then we should make sure we should be able to get a new source of joy. Yep. That's pretty good. We're running out of anger, but that's not a big deal. It's not as critical an emotion. Good, so we've got that. We have plenty of self-esteem now. And we're able to restart our work, which is excellent. So we have some easy problems. So let's just try solving those first and see if that works out for us. If not, we'll have to go into one of our emotions, which will be slightly more difficult, but not impossible. Or alternately we can solve some fresh music, which actually I want to do more. Let's try that one instead. To do that, we need some fresh music to start with. We'll just get that. Well, we could potentially stop a demon, but actually that emotion is going to be useful, so we'll not do that. Ah! We were able to cheer up the lover. Excellent. So that unlocks real talk, which lets us build love, which is going to be very useful indeed. However, I'm pretty full up on will, but now that's freed up. So we can do a lot with love, which is why it's been so important that we get there. Meanwhile, we can ignore the issues with the song. I think we will do that one. We have a moment anyway. Ha! And we succeeded at listening to music together. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh! Getting happy at being satisfied at our work. Okay. Now again, we're running out of... Oh my goodness! So you can see, unlikely though it was, fixing that simple problem was enough to make this song good. Right, so now we have a great song. So we can release that, we can derive a cool thing from it, or we can note achievement. Cool things are useful to get self-esteem, but we've got self-esteem now. I'm just going to go straight into releasing it. Yeah. Oh, so now that we have some free will, I'm going to develop out the real talk a little bit more. It's because it's useful. Wait, it says, it's easy to forget sometimes, but you really do love each other. How sweet. Be told of your worth and try for deeper meaning. So this is obviously going to end the real talk. Now we can get self-esteem from here, or we can get alienation if we wanted it. We already have some alienation, but that requires work emotion, which we don't have right now, so I guess not. Meanwhile, over here, there's a bunch of things that use this love that we've been generating, like deriving strength and loving care. So we'll get the deriving strength up, actually. Just get ourselves a second thing for that. Oof. For mind. Yep, here it is. And we aren't using that much focus now that we've solved our problem. So we'll just do that. I would... Yes. So now that we can use love to get strength instead of will, we can recharge this callousness tower. We can also build this, which is going to let us use the very powerful vent tower. Yes, and that should be good for right now. I think that'll suffice. We can pretty easily fix this. And we're just waiting on this. I don't think there's any need to keep things going now. I think we're good. Just let this run. We'll actually very quickly recharge this all the way since we have some spare will. Ha, and this failed, so we're feeling worthless because we failed to stop a demon. And we can conceivably keep the fresh music alive, but I don't see the need in doing that. We, however, will not drown in self-pity because I sort of want to keep my self-esteem, and we're not going to solve that because I need the self-esteem for stuff. Also, you can see these inner demons are constant sources of sadness, but they're not crippling like they could be. And you can see we've returned to the friend from our real talk, which will let us build this powerful Ventu tower shortly enough. In fact, currently, no, I need to finish recharging this first. Then I'll be able to do that. Oh, and there we go. We have released the song. So we're going to end this video here, and we'll build out our next song in the next video. Cool.